Let's go to Nova. We'll go to Supernova in Austin, Texas. What's up, Nova?
Hey, how's it going?
Partying. What are you up to?
Just working. It's a Monday.
I know. I'm at work, too. I'm not partying at all. I just lie to myself. It's raining outside. It's just one of those days. So we're having a party.
Yep.
So what's up, Nova?
So I am in, I'm a bit of a unicorn, or so I've been told. I'm in kind of a situation where I don't really know how to navigate the relationships going forward in my life. So I am 39. I have been married a few times. The first time I got married, it was volatile and not a good situation. And so that marriage was short-lived. I, divorced at about, I think I was like 25 by the time I divorced. Remarried, and it was my happily ever after, or so I thought. We were married about 9 years, and he passed away drunk driving.
Oh, man. He was drunk driving or somebody hit him?
He was.
Oh, man, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. And together we were raising my son from my previous marriage. And so, I was, after I lost him, single mom in it through grief. And, that was a struggle for a couple of years. And at about the 1.5 year mark, I started feeling like my normal self again. Mm-hmm. Changed, but the new normal. And I opened myself back up to love and went out there, and I felt good again. And so I started dating. Reunited with an old friend from high school. We hit it off. Things were going great. We got married, and we were married a little over a year, and COVID happened, and he died from COVID.
Shut the front door. Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Is this when?
We're going on a year now.
God almighty, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Just got sick and passed away. How long was it between when he got sick till when he passed away?
3 weeks.
God, wow.
Yeah. He was, 40, no pre-existing conditions, nothing that was alarming. And he got COVID, and we thought he was just sleeping it off, mm-hmm. The first couple of days, he was just very tired. And on day 3, when I went in to check on him, I noticed his lips were turning blue. And I was like, oh my goodness, we're going to the hospital. And we live, 3 miles from the hospital. So I rushed him there, and within a day he was intubated.
Never came home, huh?
Yeah.
Do y'all have, across these 3 marriages, do you have kids involved in this too?
Right. So that's where it gets tricky. So, he has 2 daughters. I have my son.
Okay.
And his daughters came to live with us the January. So they've been with us a little over a year now, 1.5 years.
Okay. How old are they?
20 and almost 16.
Okay. So one's still a minor, one's an adult.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And they came to live with you. How old's your son?
He's 18.
Okay. And who's his dad?
His dad is Jesse. He was my first husband.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah. So he still gets visitation with his dad. And
he's 18 now, so he's kind of free to the world now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. So now, thank you for laying that. You've been through a lot, and I'm so sorry. That is a lot of trauma. Good grief.
Yeah. In a short amount of time.
Yes. Okay. So a year's passed. So are you back out?
So I'm back out.
Okay.
I'm doing well considering everything. The thing is, kind of the way that I explain it to people, unfortunately, it's almost like muscle memory. Like I know how to walk the walk.
Yeah.
And so I'm good. I'm working full time. I'm holding down the fort at home. I still have my social life, and I'm good.
Okay. You've grieved this?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not in mourning.
Yep.
I do still grieve sometimes.
Of course, absolutely.
But it's not that deep.
Yeah, that black hole. That's right. That's right. Okay. So you're back out there.
So I'm dating.
What's his name? I'm just kidding.
His name is David.
Don't tell me his name. Okay, David.
Okay. Yeah,
David.
it's fine. He's great. He's very understanding of the situation. He knows,
Yeah.
He knows what he's getting into.
Hey, listen, he has no idea what he's getting into. Not even close. But I like that he believes that he does. That's cool. Good for him.
Yeah. Yeah. The hard part for me is, first and foremost, I'm thinking about the kids,
Yep.
and we talk a lot, and, I don't put them in situations where I feel like they're not ready.
Mm-hmm.
We are all kind of walking through this, and sometimes it feels like we're walking through mud, but we make it through, and we're doing okay. And they've met him, they like him. We're all adjusting well.
Okay.
Where it gets tricky is because they are my late husband's kids and they live with me, I'm getting custody.
Okay.
They, still have a relationship with his family, and they still want a relationship with his family. And I do too, to some extent, but things are a little bit different now.
Right.
And, take, for example, this past Easter, there was a big family Easter barbecue, and they were like, oh, we're going, right? Like the whole family, they want to go. And, I feel like I want to be there. I want to be part of the family that they so desperately want, because their family has slowly started, with their dad passing, and then grandpa passed, a couple months later. Like they want that family.
So
it is different.
So distill this down into a question for me.
How do I blend my new relationship going forward? Because we're at the point where we're at the point where we're blending lives. We're wanting to do things together as a family.
Okay. So here's I'll hop in. Here's my thoughts on it. If you're adopting these two, if you are taking guardianship of them, especially the minor, you are taking guardianship. You are opting into their entire family, the same as you did when you married him. Okay. I think they're right, especially when they're a minor. I think you go to the family events. Mm-hmm. And if they need that level of security. You've been through this before. They have not. You're an adult, and it's brutal, and you know the black hole. They are kids, and that black hole will be in that black hole for years. And so having strings and connections to, let me say it this way, you can't adopt these two kids and then just have them cut off their families and say, we're starting something new. That can't work. Right. That can't work.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think it's right and fair to let your new boyfriend, who might become your fiance, who might become your new husband someday, say, this is part of what we do, is we go visit. And I've got people in my life that are friends who married somebody whose spouse passed away, and they go visit. And it's kind of weird. And that's just part of what happens when you sign up for a blended family. It's just different. It's a challenge. Every blended family situation is different. The cornerstone is, we got to take care of these kids first. They got to feel safe and connected, both to their lineage and their legacy and to what we're doing that's new.
Right.
That's number one. And number two is, we're kind of all making this up as we go, so we have to over communicate. When your new boyfriend says, hey, I feel weird there, he needs to have permission and space to say it, and you don't fly off the handle at him. And when you say, I don't really feel like going, you get to be able to say that to him and him be able to say, yeah, but it's probably the right thing. And it's that weird balance of that 16-year-old and that, especially the 20-year-old, but that 16-year-old doesn't get to hurt your feelings. And at the same time, she's hurting so bad. God almighty, so bad, right? And so let's go see grandmother and granddad. Let's just make that a part of what we're going to do every year. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think the tendency to want to clear the deck and move on from this hurt is going to be, there's going to be a really attractive pull to that for you. Is that fair?
For me, not the kids. Like, I never want them to, like, I'm completely great with them going in to see their family. Like, I don't want to pull them from that. But I do find myself, kind of stepping back because his family knows I'm dating, and I don't want anybody to feel disrespected. I don't want them to feel like,
I don't think they will. And if they do, call them. Say, hey, I'm dating somebody new and we're all coming. Would it be okay if I brought him? I think you, for the next 4 years, next 2 or 3 years, I think you go to these type of family events or whatever. And at graduation, I think you invite her grandparents and her aunts and uncles and cousins, and you have them over to your house, even if you're married by then.
Right.
Nobody is under the illusion that, you know what I mean? Like it's the secrets that are going to start to cause fissures and cracks in the family. And so we're just not going to keep secrets. And if somebody says, hey, we really would prefer you not to bring your new boyfriend over to the house, it's just too soon for us, say, great, cool. I'm just going to be respectful because this isn't about them. It's not about getting in a fight and like, well, this is me. No, it's about those kids.
Right.
And then when they turn 18 and the other one's 22, now we're having a whole different conversation. You don't have to go to all those things anymore because they're adults and they can go to where they want to, right? I think it's not overthinking it and also not, I mean, you're doing a noble thing by taking these kids, a truly noble thing. But by doing that, you're entrenching yourself in this family for a season, or really forever, but especially for a season, right?
Right.
And I think that's good. And I think it's really hard. I think both of those can be true at the same time. Does that make your heart hurt to think about that?
It makes me nervous.
Why?
I just, I don't know, like death brings out the ugly in people. And I'm nervous that because I would be with somebody new, like if, he came with us to the function, that they would be not receptive to that.
And so what you're doing right now is you're projecting into the future something that hasn't happened yet. And you are choosing to be anxious and possibly make life-altering family decisions and choices over something that hasn't happened yet, and yet you don't really have a clear answer on. And the only way you can get clear answers in this, there's 2 ways. One, you can just show up and spring on them and see what happens, which is a terrible idea. Or you can call ahead. You can send an email out to the family. You can let everybody know, hey, I'm adopting these kids. I'm going to be all in on this family, and I am dating again. And if I bring somebody, know that it's not disrespect. It's me wanting y'all to know what's going on in my life and me to know what's going on in y'all's life. If anyone has any concerns, please reach out and let me know. And what we're doing here is we're not trying to win. This is about hospitality. This is about kindness, and it's about those kids. But I'm not going to give any real estate in my heart and mind for imagining things that might or might go sideways, or someone might get mad, or they may think I'm moving on too quick. That sounds like you might be wondering if you're moving on too quick, not them. But they might be, and they may say, he's not welcome here, you're not welcome here. Okay, they're hurting. And if it brings out the ugly in them, that's fine. I'm not going to let them bring out the ugly in me. I'm just not. I'm not going to give them that power over my life. I'm just not. And you've been through a lot. And so as you walk through this, Nova, give yourself some grace, okay? Give yourself some grace. Be open with those kids. Be open with your new boyfriend. Make sure he's nice. Make sure he's nice. And, man, communicate.